G'day guys, and welcome back to my third episode of Quick Reviews. Today, I'm looking at the politically charged thriller, The Infiltrator. Now before I get into my thoughts on this movie, I first need to preface this review with a warning. No matter where you lie on the political spectrum from right to left, you need to avoid coming into this movie with too many preconceived notions. While it may have been inspired by true events, much of it is heavily dramatised, and it's done so to invoke an emotional response. You're supposed to feel outrage as events unfold, and it forces you off the fence. I'm not a fan of this manipulative tactic, but it's very effective at providing tense, disturbing, and thrilling atmosphere. I'll come back to this point later, but if you get the chance to watch this for yourself, try to remain as objective as possible. With that said, here is my take on the movie. So the plot starts out with a freelance reporter named Yaron, played by Oliver Platt, deciding to follow a series of racially motivated hate crimes in Germany. As an American Jew with family ties to Germany, he feels that it is his obligation to expose the re-emergence of fascism. Upon his arrival, it doesn't take him long to uncover violence in the streets, as gangs of roaming neo-Nazi thugs terrorize immigrant communities. During a scuffle, he meets Malik, the apparent ringleader of the gang. Without revealing his ancestry, Yaron befriends him with the guise of being sympathetic to the cause. During conversation, he discovers that there is a much deeper level of organisation behind the violence. With compelling information in hand, he returns to America expecting a response, but is instead met with skepticism. He is again commissioned to return under the cover of being a representative for an American right-wing financier. This time, he needs to get actual evidence which could lead to criminal prosecution. Admittedly, this is where the plot gets really intense, as he has to put on a realistic act in order to alleviate any concerns from the higher-ranking members. One slip-up, and he knows it's death. But probably scariest of all is his realization that this movement has the political will to achieve a Fourth Reich through both forceful and stealthy means. While the movie certainly takes artistic license, it's never boring and always makes for compelling viewing. I was genuinely surprised that the neo-Nazis weren't all portrayed as some one-dimensional caricature. Many of them had humanity and a genuine interest in restoring Germany to its former glory, however ill-conceived. Oliver Platt's performance was also solid, and I've always enjoyed watching him as an actor. He carries this earnest charisma into all his roles, and it suited him well here. However, what hurt the movie most was the forced political agenda, particularly in the final act. An effort is made to connect right-wing extremism in America with Germany, but it really falls flat. It also fails to address why the problem of political extremism is rising in the first place. Even though this movie was made in 1995, many of the events parallel those happening today in Europe. People feel that their governments aren't protecting their national interests, and thus are falling into dangerous ideologies that offer radical solutions. But that's a topic for another video. I still thought the movie was highly entertaining and thought-provoking. That's why I've given it a final rating of 3 halos out of 5. There are disturbing scenes in the movie, including a brutal rape, so if you are sensitive to on-screen violence, you might want to skip this one. But for all of those of you who are interested in seeing more, I'll be providing links in both the description and comments section of this video. Finally, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing to my channel, as it really gives me the inspiration to continue running this series. I've got some very interesting movies coming your way soon, so stick around, and I'll see you again on the next episode of Quick Reviews.